Hi crafters, I'm Robbie Susan Chandler from RobbieSusanCardsandCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. I'm here to share a project with you, so let's get started. Today I want to share this beautiful card with you, made with the delightful Doily Embossing folder and dies. That's right, this set comes with an embossing folder and dies. So let's take a look at the embossing folder and dies first, and then we'll check out the card. So the embossing folder is one of our 3D, so it needs the gray plate to run through your cut and emboss machine. And I'll show you some things that's been embossed with it in a second. And the dies are a set of 1, 2, 3, 4 that can cut out a piece like this. Very delicate, nice looking. The middle of it can also be cut out with this little die, and it would cut the middle section out. Or you could cut the middle section out with this circle, and you would have that part. And then here's the middle just embossed and cut with the matching die here. Now the big doily, you can cut it alone like this, but to cut it out of the paper you will need to match it up with this die. And we're going to use this die today. These we're not actually going to have to use because of the combination of the embossing folder and the die set together. So let's take a look at all of our pieces and see what we've got here. Alright, like I said, here's the card. Now this is a book bind or book fold card. So I started out with a piece of Tahitian Tide 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2, and I also scored it at 4 1/4. I didn't write that on here, sorry, but 5 1/2 and 4 1/4. And that way, when you fold it, that's your 5 1/2. This is the 4 1/4 from this end. You will adhere it down, and it will look like this. So that's your base piece. Now, on top of that piece, over here on the book end, I added a piece of vellum, and that strip is 4 by 1 1/4, or you can make it a little wider, a little narrower. This one probably could be a little bit wider. I did cut a little bit wider one on this one, and I cut it with the Elegant Borders dies. I use this one right here, which is the top one there, and I just adhered it right here to the side of the book bind. So that's our first step. Second step is this 4 by 4. This one's 4 by 4 inches, and this one was embossed with the beautiful Doily embossing folder. And I have already adhered it to my card front, but this is what it looks like embossed. Isn't that beautiful? Now, this paper I'm using, let me show you this paper. It is called the 2000, let's see if I can get it under here, 2022-2024 in color texture specialty paper. And it comes in all these beautiful colors. You've got Tahitian Tide, I believe this one is Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, and Starry Sky. And they're all textured and shimmery. They're really pretty. They have, I don't know if you can see it, but they have a little line. The texture is the line going down the middle of it. So that is this piece. You can see the lines to it. So I embossed it, adhered it to the front with the embossing folder. Alright, our next step after we put that down is to cut our doily. So we need to cut our doily, so let's do that. So this piece is 4 by 4. It's got dots on it, it's a vellum, and it came from this pack of paper called Vellum basic Special Designer Series paper. And it comes with 3 designs. You've got a stripe, you've got this leafy design, and then you've got the dots that I'm using. Alright, so this is the way you use this, what we call hybrid embossing folder. That means it does 2 things. It embosses, but will also cut and emboss. So you have to use the die, and like I said, the sheet is another 4x4 inch sheet piece. So you have to use the die inside the embossing folder. Now you're going to place it on the end that has Stampin' Up. And if you place it in here, you can tell when it fits in the groove, because it just slides right in like that. It's like a perfect fit. It just fits right in the hole there. Alright, so that's the first step. Drop that piece in there and hope that it stays. I don't think I've got it there. Now I've got it matched up. I knew it wasn't quite sticking quite right. Alright, so now it's in the groove of the embossing folder, and I place this piece right in the middle, and I know I've learned, I've done it enough, that there's a row of 3 little dots across the top and a little curve on the side that's my center. So close it up. Now to run these through, and I'm actually going to run this through my machine. To run this through the machine, you have to have our gray plate and the basic platform. Those are the only 2 that you will need for this folder. So you need this gray plate, Stampin' Up! Gray plate. It's actually called number 4, and our number 1 platform base. Alright, let's take a look for the big reveal. And here is our edge piece. You see that? Let me get this out of the way. It's our edge piece. And then here's the doily. And it's embossed and cut all at one time. Is that cool or what? I love this embossing folder. So I took this piece, the doily, I adhered it to the front of my card, and the other piece, see if I put, the other piece I put on the inside. I thought, why throw this beautiful piece away? So I hung on to it. Now to put adhesive on my vellum, I just put some of the Tombow multi-purpose glue in the green and white bottle and just smeared around with my finger, and that basically makes it disappear, so you don't have to worry about it showing. Alright, now let's get to our inside. So like I said, we put, now let's look at the Happy Birthday. About to forget that. Happy Birthday was cut from Tahitian Tide, and this is a new die set in our catalog. Wanted to say dies. And it has a set that says Happy Birthday, Feel Better Soon, You're Too Kind, and Celebrate. And I just used the cutouts of the Happy Birthday, but in the set they also provide a background, a shadow piece that you can put behind your Happy Birthday, and it'll give you a more distinct look where you can pop it up. So, and it does that on every one of these. But I just used the Happy Birthday and adhered it to the front. And if you'll notice, I also put a little Wink of Stella. I like the Wink of Stella because it's the shimmery paper behind it. I felt like it needed a little Wink of Stella on it. And then I added some rhinestones, just plain old basic rhinestones. And that completes the front. Now let's go to the inside. On the inside I used the stamp set Very Best Occasions, and I used the one that said Sending You Smiles for Every Moment of Your Special Day. And I took another piece of, also used Tahitian Tide to do my stamping on the inside since it matched my paper. I used that same die that I used inside the embossing folder, and I just cut me a basic white cutout of the doily. I stamped it with the stamps I just showed you and dropped it right in the hole of the vellum, and there we have our card. So I think you'll really like this Wanted to Say set of dies because it's a very nice special look, and you'll love this shimmery textured paper of the last year's in colors. So I hope you like this card and maybe you'll give it a shot. I've got a link below for the free tutorial download with all the measurements and instructions. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And until the next project, happy crafting.